All right, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to be revealing my 30K stock market portfolio. I'm going to go in order of my biggest positions to my smallest positions, and with each stock, I'm going to go over their business model, my bullish thesis on the company, as well as if I plan on buying, holding, or selling the stock. But before I get into that, I'd like to set a small goal for the channel. I want to reach 100 subscribers. So if you're new here, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It'll help encourage me to make more videos and bring better content to you guys. I also think it's important for me to make this video to bring credibility to this channel and to myself. If I'm going to be teaching you guys about stocks, I feel like you guys should know how well I'm doing or how not well I'm doing in the market. So let's get right into it. The first company I'm talking about is FedEx. FedEx has a value of $8,699 in my account, and I'm up about 54%, which is equivalent to roughly $3,000. So FedEx has four main segments to its business. It has FedEx Express, FedEx Ground, FedEx Freight, and FedEx Services. FedEx Express is essentially the part of their business that needs to get packages from point A to point B in a definite amount of time. They're all about speed. FedEx Ground is a little bit different. FedEx Ground consists of the trucks you see delivering from house to house. It's basically direct to consumer. When you're in your neighborhood and you see a FedEx guy making a delivery, that's consists of FedEx Ground. And then next we have FedEx Freight. FedEx Freight involves the giant semi trucks that you see going across, or maybe on the highways. They're going across from state to state, all over the place, bringing less than truckloads to a certain destination that needs to get to. And lastly, we have FedEx Services. FedEx Services is basically the brain of FedEx. They kind of handle all the things behind the scenes in terms of maximizing efficiency. So a couple of the bullish points on FedEx that I've got in the future is in Q2, U.S. e-commerce sales grew a record of 44.4%. And guess who's doing all that delivering? FedEx. FedEx is essential, especially right now when we're in a pandemic and everything's being moved to online. FedEx is really killing it right now, and they're essential to keeping the economy alive. Another bullish point is FedEx is going to be key to any vaccine distribution. So any vaccine distribution that comes out in the near future that needs to be spread out worldwide, FedEx is going to be essential in getting that to where it needs to go. FedEx also just began delivering on Sundays. FedEx Ground did. Before they didn't do that. Now that's a whole nother day to increase revenue and profitability in the future. They're also able to do a lot of FedEx Ground surcharges, especially for this crazy holiday season, because so many people are ordering things online. They're able to bump up the price, and that'll increase their profitability by a wide margin. A couple of FedEx is a big company, so a couple of the things that kind of point to them looking to expand and for more growth include the integration of TNT Express in Europe and the acquisition of SmartPost for ground service efficiency. So TNT Express is essentially FedEx Express, only it's in Europe. Recently, they've been integrating that into FedEx and trying to get it up to speed. SmartPost is kind of similar, only it's in the U.S. It's basically a bunch of facilities in the United States that help maximize FedEx Ground's delivery times. So last quarter, FedEx's revenue grew 13% and their net income grew 67% year over year. The revenue growth of double digits, 13%, is really impressive because FedEx doesn't normally grow by that much, and that's kind of a good signal to the future. The net income growth is a little bit deceiving because in 2019, there were significant one-time expenses that FedEx incurred due to some reorganization of employee benefits. So the net income is a little bit deceiving, but the revenue is still very, very promising. So the next company that we're going to be talking about is Chegg. I own about $5,297 of Chegg, and I'm down almost 4%, which is about $217. So Chegg basically has several segments to its online tutoring hub. It has Chegg Study, Chegg Writing, Chegg Tutors, Chegg Math Solver, and Thinkful. Basically, Chegg is a tutor that's online. It can tutor you in anything. It can tutor you in math. Like I said, it can tutor you in writing. I as a physics and engineering major, I use Chegg all the time. Chegg has a database of thousands of already solved step-by-step solutions. So if you're ever struggling with anything, you can go onto their website, and if you're using a book that's like widely accepted, it will most likely have every problem in that book done step by step, and you can just go on it. And that's a Chegg study subscription. That's what I have. There's also online tutors that are available 24/7 that you can ask, or that you can access on their website. And not only that, but Chegg is also in the college textbook rental business. This isn't part of the business that I'm as excited about. I mean, it's extra revenue, but I'm really focused on Chegg's online hub. All the facets of that are super important because revenue grew 63% last quarter. And the reason for that is because we're in a pandemic. Everybody's working online, and I think that's going to have long-term benefits for Chegg, because now that everybody's been used to online, we all kind of understand how it works. It's not like back before the pandemic, when online was viewed as only something a few people did, and it was, kind of weird. It was different. Nobody really did it. Now it's so widely accepted. I think this is going to have great future growth for FedEx, or for Chegg, for Chegg in the future. I think it's going to have long-term effects. And on top of that, so Chegg right now only has 3.9 million subscribers. That's out of a possible 102 million subscribers. So they only have like less than 4% of their possible market opportunity. Chegg, for me, I'm gonna give that a rating of buy. Oh, excuse me. And if I didn't give a rating of FedEx, that's supposed to be a hold. Sorry about that. FedEx rating is a hold, and Chegg, for me, that rating is gonna be a buy. Dropbox. So right now, Dropbox is gonna be the next stock I'm talking about. I have $5,076 worth of it, and I'm down about 10%, which is equivalent to almost $500. So Dropbox has a 21% market share in the file sharing market. Basically, Dropbox is a team collaborative tool that you can share files across several platforms. For example, Dropbox integrates seamlessly with many different other applications such as Zoom, Slack, Microsoft, and Google. So recently, Dropbox redid their entire desktop application, and it's much more user-friendly now and team collaborative oriented. And it's comparable kind of to Discord, Slack, or even Microsoft Teams. Dropbox essentially is in the file sharing market and in the cloud storage market. Those are its two main markets, and it's right now it's moving more towards the team collaboration market. It also had a recent acquisition of HelloSign, which opens the door for Dropbox to enter the e-signature market. That's mainly dominated by DocuSign, who has a market cap of $40 billion versus Dropbox market cap of only $8 billion. In my opinion, I think Dropbox is a very cheap company. It's got a forward P of 21 and a price to sales ratio of 4.35. In its most recent quarter, it had revenue growth of 16%, and it's been reaching profitability. It had an EPS of 4 cents, and I think that profitability is going to start to soar. I think they've just recently started to get to some lower losses, and now they're starting to cut across into that profitability territory. And I think that's really going to start to increase, and they're going to be very consistent with it. Right now, I'm going to give Dropbox a rating of buy. I'm going to add more if I can. As that cash keeps coming in my account, I'm going to distribute it through some of these stocks that I like as a buy. The next company I'm going to talk about is Revolve. So Revolve's got a value of $2,871 in my account, and I'm up about 8.42%, which is about $200. So Revolve is basically an e-commerce designer clothing company. A couple of the unique things about Revolve is they use Instagram influencers to promote their products. Now, Instagram is huge. Instagram has such a wide presence, especially among the younger generation who are mainly going to be shopping on Revolve. And that's huge for the company because that makes the clothing more desirable, because people see someone that they follow, that they regularly see on social media, that they envy. They see them wearing that. That's definitely going to be a nice point of sales. Another great thing about the company is they have $0 of long-term debt on their balance sheet, And pre-COVID, they were growing revenue by 20+% regularly. Last quarter, they did grow net income by 12%, which was huge because this is during a pandemic when nobody is really needing new clothes. Like all the events that you would wear nice clothes to are closed. But the revenue dropped 12%, which is, all things considered, I think that's very good. For me, Revolve is going to be a hold. I've got a nice sized position on it. I'm not really looking to add anymore. I'm up 8%. So right now I'm just going to hold and holding it for the long term. The next company I'm going to be talking about is Upwork. Upwork, I own $2,500 worth, and I'm up about 20%, which is around $400. So Upwork is basically a website that connects freelancers to clients. Client would be a big enterprise company such as Microsoft, and then freelancers are just people that have proven skills through the projects that they've done and that are looking for work, and they kind of work on their own time. So Upwork mainly focuses on clients, especially large clients, like I said, Microsoft, that work, and they're trying to connect freelancers to these big companies. And these freelancers have to be quality because Upwork is focusing so much on these very large companies. They're also focusing on very experienced freelancers. And that's kind of the separation between Upwork and Fiverr. Fiverr is also a company that's in the freelancer market, but instead of focusing on very professional freelancers like Upwork, Fiverr kind of focuses on the more amateur side of things. Like there's a lot of people that do things on Fiverr for maybe like $20, but as for Upwork, they're doing things for like their salary, a lot of money. Upwork regularly grows their revenue by 20%, and that's a goal that they have, and they continue to hit it, and I think they're going to continue to hit it in the future. And last quarter, they grew revenue by 19%, which is right in line with the goal. Upwork has a $560 billion global market opportunity, and that's only been accelerated by the pandemic with working at home becoming more normalized. For me, I'm going to say Upwork is a hold, just because I already have a pretty big position. I'm up 20%. For me, there's no reason to buy. If I wanted to buy more, I should have bought more when I was down. I was down on the position for a while, so I should have bought more then, but I'm content with the position that I have, and I'm looking at other stocks that I'm looking to buy. The next company I'll be talking about is Sprouts Farmers Market. I own about $1,750, and I'm down 14%, which is equivalent to around $300. So Sprouts Farmers Market basically focuses on selling healthy foods at an affordable price. They're in a great long-term trend because healthy eating has been a trend for a while, and I think it's going to continue to be a trend in the future. Their CEO is named Jack Sinclair, and he was the previous head of Walmart's grocery department, so that gives a lot of credibility to Sprouts and who they've got in charge at the helm. They've had consistent revenue growth and consistent net income growth year over year, and their price to earnings ratio is very cheap of only 11. Another great facet about their business is that they've been shifting after after everything closed in March. They shift mostly to online advertising and couponing, moving away from the paper ads and coupons. They've been continuing to do that. In my opinion, that's a smart move because anything online, for the most part, is going to be more efficient and more effective. For me, I'm going to say Sprouts Farmers Market is a buy. I'm going to look to add more. I'm down 14%, which is pretty significant, but I think the company is pretty undervalued. I think it's very cheap right now. So I'm going to get some more money in there, and I'm going to keep buying. The next company I'm going to be talking about is Nordstrom. So Nordstrom's got a value of $1,651, and I'm down about 18%, which is equivalent to around $360. So Nordstrom kind of caters to the higher end shopper who's less affected by the pandemic, which is a good thing. Nordstroms are basically high-end kind of department stores and malls that sell like designer clothes. And they're kind of right now being put in the category of, say, a Macy's or a JCPenney's. But I would say that's not really the case because the people affected the most by the pandemic are not going to be the people shopping for designer clothes. They're not going to be the people shopping at Nordstrom. I think Nordstrom's going to be fine coming out of this. They have cash of about $1 billion, but debt of $3.6 billion. And right now they're being priced for bankruptcy, which I think is very highly unlikely. I mean, just this recently, I was at a mall that seemed pretty busy, and I asked one of the workers, I was like, "Is this busy for a Saturday post pandemic?" or opening up again when the economy's opening up, and they said no, it was considered dead. So I really think Nordstrom's going to be okay. In previous to the pandemic, Nordstrom had consistently increased revenue and net income year after year. So it's not like it was a Macy's or JCPenney's whose previous pandemic net income and revenue was slipping and starting to fall year after year. In their last earnings call, their CEO, Eric Nordstrom, stated, digital traffic grew by double digits year over year and sequentially improved from Q1, indicating signs of increasing customer demand. As we experienced last quarter, we had more than 50% growth in new Nordstrom customers through our digital platforms. I think this company's overrated. I think it's super cheap, and I think they're going to get back to profitability, and I think the stock price is going to start to reflect that right now it's just too cheap. And so in my opinion, I'm going to be looking to buy more Nordstrom, especially if it falls even lower. The next company I own is Facebook. I own about $1,500 of Facebook, and I'm up 6%, which is equivalent to about $92. So Facebook is one of the best balance sheets in the world with $21 billion in cash. Facebook owns Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp, and Oculus, which is huge. I mean, you're not going to find that many people that don't use Facebook, or at least Instagram, or at least Messenger, or at least, at least one of those things. So Facebook up until 2020, or their most recent years, they've consistently grown revenue by 20% plus, and they're already a massive company. They are a profit machine. They just make so much money quarter after quarter. I'm talking $5, $6, $7 of earnings per share, just crazy amounts of money. Facebook has 1.66 billion daily active users and 2.5 billion monthly active users. That's a lot of people. 2.5 billion monthly active users. That's like a fourth of the population. It's just insane. Facebook's also sliding into e-commerce with Facebook Shops and Facebook Marketplace. I'm gonna give Facebook a buy. That is probably, even though I'm down on some of my other positions, I feel like I really need to build up my Facebook position. I think I don't have enough in my account. And on dips, I'm going to be looking to buy when I have cash. So the last company I'm going to be talking about is Square. I own about $1,200 of Square, and I'm up 33%. So Square's business is essentially separated into two main components. You have your seller ecosystem and your Cash App. Yeah. So seller ecosystem basically consists of Square card readers, Square Capital, and other financial hardware and software services. Square Capital is kind of like a bank. It's like a miniature bank. So Square Capital gives loans out, and because of all the data that Square has from their financial hardware card readers, they know exactly how to make get the biggest bang for their buck. They're trying to make their loans as efficient as possible. So because they know how much sales a business is making and how much money they're making, they can efficiently give them the proper amount of money at the proper percentage or the proper interest rate, and they can maximize the efficiency of their loans basically and make as much money as possible. Cash App has had some insane growth. They've had revenue growth of 364% in the previous quarter, just Cash App alone. So Cash App essentially looks to replace banks and brokerages, trying to be basically everything in one for finances. Cash App does money transfers, they do savings accounts, investing in cryptocurrency. I have a Cash App, I like it. I also have a Venmo though, but Cash App has recently surpassed Venmo with the number of users. For me, Cash App is going to be a hold, Square is going to be a hold, just because I'm up 33%, and it's just one of those stocks that I didn't really get to build a big position in. I bought some, and then the stock just skyrocketed. So it is what it is. I'm just going to hold it. I think it's got a great long-term growth in the future, but right now I'm just not a buyer. And that's going to be everything. So if you liked the video, please give it a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'm really trying to grow. I'm trying to get to at least 100 subscribers. And as I keep making these videos, I'm going to get better and better. And I'll even start, if I get 100 subscribers, I'll start buying things. I'll buy a video camera, a better microphone. I'll fix up the background, but I just got to know from you guys if you guys enjoy the content, and if you do, that's going to help me in the future. So thanks, and see you guys.